Okay. I do this to exercise my right to free speech. I look at things, I say things, I read things, whatever. And then I go and on the internet and I study stuff to see how much of it I can show as proof. Um, the Bondi thing, her question and answer, if you can call it that, from yesterday, she sat there every time and she avoided the questions. I mean, she'd talk about something for a second and then she'd bring something out about that person's state or that person's area where he worked in the States or whatever, or a state. She blatantly sat there and refused to answer in the correct way. Yet the Republican leader of that group and the Republicans acted like they were saints. And they'd sit there and they'd say, oh, please, please, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But Bondi said things that got Democrats up in arms, and they would yell, and she would interrupt them, and they would yell back, and it always ended up where, at the end, she'd say, "Can I have some time, please?" And a Republican would graciously give it to her. It was all a setup by the Republicans. But I'll tell you, she lied at least twice in that thing. And the one that gets me is she was asked if she talked to any of the survivors at the DOJ. Did she have meetings with them and stuff? She said yes. Her and Blanche both had meetings. But the way the survivors that were there put it, none of them did. And afterwards, when one was asked, and even before this meeting, they were asked. And they said none of them had been answered by the DOJ, Blanche, Bondi, or any other lawyer. They have never had meetings in there. And everything that Bondi has done is to cover up for all the people, all the bigwigs. I don't know if that's including Trump. He may not, even though he was there hundreds of times around him, around Epstein, he may never have known exactly what's going on. I mean, he ain't the sharpest pencil in the box. So, Bondi lied. She should be held liable for that. And she lied again to another Democrat. Okay. If you like what I say and talk about on here and would like to hear more, press like, share, subscribe. I do this because I love my country. I don't do it for money, but if it happens to get to where I make money or something, I would gladly put it into this to make more. And as soon as I'm feeling a little better, you'll see things change in this room. But first I got to do the hallway and this room. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. God bless.